Guess who's back? That's right, my beard. I was afraid this hiatus would last longer than a lettuce, but it seems the lettuce won. Again. Hello, my name is Pig with Mustache. Well, not really. My birth certificate was printed with a mistake. Instead it says Big with Mustache, so I guess that's my name now. Every year, teams from several different French overseas territories get to play in the French Cup. In this video, I tried to win it with a team from Tahiti to see if they could play in European continental competitions, which according to UEFA's own website might be possible in real life, so I'm testing if it can happen in FM as well. The French Cup is the biggest club competition in the world, with this season's cup including over 7,000 teams, from big clubs like PSG and Monaco to literal farmers who train with cows and dogs. Which means that, yes, you can create a team with your mates and play against the best farmers in the world. It doesn't mean you have a good time though. It is also the only national cup to include teams from several different continents, which makes the competition several times more prestigious than the UEFA Champions League. Other than France itself, the cup includes teams from Guadeloupe, Martinique, Saint-Pierre and Miquelon, French Guiana, Mayotte, Réunion, New Caledonia, and Tahiti. They play in national qualifiers or cup competitions until there is only one left, and that team plays in the cup itself. As of now, clubs from Tahiti, New Caledonia and Mayotte start in the 7th round, the team from Saint-Pierre and Miquelon starts in the 3rd round, and everyone else starts in the 8th. Traditionally, they often lose their first match and leave the competition without making much noise. But in recent years they managed to achieve their best campaigns ever, with Aiglon du Lamentin making the round of 64 in 1819, Saint-Pierre-Royes reaching the round of 32 in the very next season, Club Franciscain doing the same in 2021, and finally Saint-Denis from Réunion and Jumeaux de Vizuese reaching the round of 64 in the last season. This season now, La Tampon, yes, that's their name, made to the round of 64, and they're gonna play against a team in the 4th division of France in January now. At this rate, it won't be long until we see a non-French team winning the French Cup. So for this video, I picked one club from the country and I turned them into the biggest club in the world. I also gave them as much money as the game allows, £650 million in case the team has no owner, and then I drafted a team composed of some of the best players in the world just to win the French Cup. When drafting the squad, I wanted to have some realism, so when I was choosing the best players in the world, I gave preference to a bunch of French players. But as a little challenge to myself, I tried not to pick too many PSG players. I still wanted to have a tough competition. And I also picked a few Tahitian players in case there were a few match squad rules about them. With that said, looking at the squad we have 2018 World Cup champion Steve Mandanda, 2022 World Cup champion Alisson.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
2026 World Cup champion Françoise Decoé, Benjamin Pavard and Pedro Pou as right backs, Aït-Nouri and Palma as left backs. When I drafted this team, I started from the attackers, and by the time I got to the fullbacks I had almost no money left. Upamecano, Kimpembe and Tave in the defense, Capoue as a defensive midfielder, because to me it's mandatory to have a ball-winning midfielder. It's my favorite type of player. To the midfield, I also picked Bellingham, Camavinga, Milinkovic-Savic and Tal. Then I chose Kevin De Bruyne and Louis Vuitton as the defensive midfielders, Bukayo Saka, Dimitri Payet as wingers, accompanied of course by the LeBron James of soccer, Christian Pulisic. With a nickname like that, there's no way he's gonna be useless, right? And also Tamatoa Tetawide. In the attack, there's also Benzema and our local boy, Labaste. Oh, I almost forgot, I also included the duo Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, but they're like 37-35 years old, so how useful can they still be? With a squad like that, surely the team doesn't need me, right? I just need to simulate until the end of the season, and I will see that Pirae will win the French Cup, right? Well, while simulating, I decided to stop in the middle of the season because I was curious to see how the AI would set up the squad, and I saw that they lost to a USB company? While looking for the reason for why Messi, Ronaldo and Benzema could not score against a team from the 4th division of France, I noticed that only some of the players were playing, and when I looked at his squad, every single player counted as foreigner, even the French and the Tahitian ones. Of course, what would stop us from winning the French Cup on a first try is a glitch in FM. Also, for anyone curious, Mexico wins the World Cup, and Santimina makes Team of the Year, so no surprises there. Other interesting highlights include the 158 goals scored in the league, with this being the one goal they let in. They deserve, to be honest. The team also won the Champions League, but like I said before, the French Cup is above any continental competition, so no big deal. At team stats, De Bruyne and Messi share the most goals and assists and wait, where is Cristiano? Oh, there he is. Alright, second try. This time I went in the editor and I fixed the bug. Now, non-French teams can use as many foreign players as they want. The season starts well with a 17 new in the French Cup where for some reason there's a little discrepancy in the expected goals, literally unplayable. 2 more easy victories in October and the team reached the 8th round again, and they lost. You might wonder, why is it against a powerful team like PSG or Monaco? No. Was it against a good team like Marseille or Rennes? No. Was it against a League 1 team at least? No. It was against Pau FC. But for some reason, a lot of the best players weren't not playing. Did the AI underestimate the opponent and didn't use the best players? This had a perfectly good answer, but I wouldn't figure it out until much later. After 2 failed attempts, I decided to take matter into my own hands. This time, I'm going to manage every single match of the French Cup. Our first match was against Redon, a team from the 6th division of France. Surely Messi and Ronaldo will not struggle to score against a team like that, right? And they don't. We get a penalty right at the beginning of the match, and our specialist scores his first goal for us. How Messi does? Well, nah, just kidding, he scores as well. Only 3 days later, we played another match against a team that's also from the 6th division, Liffre. And just like last time, we get an early penalty and our hero scores again. Not much to say about this game. The match highlights are Messi scoring with a header and one of the Tahitian players making the most beautiful goal of the tournament. We finished the month playing against Stade Plabennecua. The old folks duo gets an early goal for us, and just before halftime, Messi chips in for the second goal, and in the second half, they score. Don't judge me, I just make mods for the game. That means I don't have much time to play the game itself, but in the end, we still won it, so that's all that matters. We finally reached the dreaded 80th round, and then I realized why the team was eliminated the same round as the last 2 tries. The 80th round is usually played by the end of November, but for some reason our match gets postponed to be played in December during the World Cup. This happens in all realities. Obviously, it's a conspiracy by the FM gods who do not want to see a Tahitian team winning the French Cup. But this time, I'm in charge. The match is against Saint Louis, with our squad being clearly weakened. In the beginning of the match, we get another penalty, but without Cristiano, his replacement is the Tahitian player Labaste, who misses.
Que eu vi depois do jogo da Turquia, era algo que a equipa queria muito.
And we finish the first half in a goalless draw. Ronaldo is so upset by that he calls Labaste and sends him some tips during halftime.
Tô aqui no posto médico. Viram? Tô aqui acompanhado no posto médico. Ei, anda cá, velho. Anda cá, coitado. Não. Só tô aqui de frente. Anda.
Later, we get another penalty, and this time, thanks to Ronaldo's tips, Labaste scores. With the door now open, we score 5 more times in the second half to qualify for the next stage. Please ignore this part, nothing happened here. New year, we play against Comar in the round of 64. They play in the 4th division of France, another easy opponent for us. Oh my god, they scored first, Manada, what are you doing? But luckily, as you may guess by now, another penalty, and this time, we got Ronaldo on the team to do his magic again. Messi doesn't feel like falling behind and scores the second, and after that, it's just a matter of keeping the advantage, and we're through. In the next round, we meet our first decent opponent, Brest from Ligue 1, and they actually put up a good fight. Again, we end the first half in a draw, but a very nice team play puts us through, but this was clearly a wake-up call for me to fix my tactics. So, for the next match against Lyon, we move from the usual 4-2-3-1 to this little mess here. Not messy, but he's also little. Little mess. Capoue is starting as a ball-winning midfielder, the most important position in any tactic, and anyone who doesn't use a ball-winning midfielder is absolutely wrong, and the advanced playmaker is staying a little to the side so the box-to-box has space to run forward. At least that's the idea. Also, this is a serious match for once, so Ronaldo is going at the bench. Right off the bat, we have a bad start with Lacazette scoring, but a quick counter-attack ties the game in the very next minute. Lyon gets a quick attack against us, but sadly for them, Dembélé is their striker. Just a few minutes later, Messi scores a second goal. Lyon gets an attack chance and the what now? Dembélé scores against us. Luckily De Bruyne is here to give us the lead again. And who are we meeting in the next round? Oh no. I was hoping someone else have done the job for us, but that wasn't the case. Even though their squad isn't really weaker than ours, after all, they still have Neymar and Mbappe, they decided to go with a very defensive formation. This led to a very close match where nobody could get a good opportunity to score. Since this was an important match, I started Benzema again as my main striker and Ronaldo on the bench, but since there was a good chance of the match going to penalties, I knew what I had to do. I subbed Ronaldo in, and shortly after that, we went into penalty shootout. First shot, Messi goes in, he scores. Then Neymar goes and Alisson, he doesn't even move.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Next up is Ronaldo, and you already know that taxes Ronaldo scoring penalties. Sergio Ramos goes for the next shot and Alisson, you beautiful man.
When you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because
After that, everyone scores and we're through again. Our opponent in the semifinals is none other than Marseille, but after defeating Lyon and PSG, they shouldn't be too hard. Oh, of course, we tied the game when I don't even know how to describe what's happening, but we score at least. That's all that matters. The match goes on, and Marseille proves to be a much more difficult opponent than I expected, until when you need him, he's there. That's right. Our biggest friend, our biggest ally, the penalty. And of course, he's there. Ronaldo takes it, it scores again. That's enough for us to reach the final. By this point, we already defeated Lyon, PSG, and Marseille. There's not much else in our way. Our final opponent is Rennes. It should be easy, right? Right, it is. Both scores first with a rocket against their goal, Ronaldo makes easy work of their defense, Messi and Benzema bag one for themselves, and we have an easy victory to seal the title. After all this, it's finally time to see if we can play in Europe. By winning the French Cup, we are supposed to qualify directly to the group stages of the Europa League, and the answer is no. Not all endings are happy endings. If you watched my first video, you would know that Wellington Phoenix cannot qualify to the Asian Champions League despite playing in Australia because they are from New Zealand, which is in a different continent from Australia. And the same thing applies to Tahitian teams in France. Also, I realized far too late into making this video that if you check the rules of the final stage, you'd see that overseas clubs are not eligible to play in Europa League. So yeah, the video was for nothing, but I hope you enjoyed.